I'll get the questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, just really the first thing I want to congratulate TCU, man. They were a wrecking crew, man. They were really good this weekend, and we knew when we saw they were coming to us what we were getting into. If from everything we had heard, I mean, it was true that they were really hot and they were really tough to beat. And we'd already seen them, obviously, but whatever was going on in the middle of the season, and they fixed it. They're awfully good. And then the other thing too is our grounds crew. I thought they did an incredible job battling the rain and tarp on and off. I'm sure they haven't had much sleep, but the field played great. It was unbelievable. So appreciate those guys. And just the game. I mean, we didn't hit. They pitched extremely well. Cam Brown gave us a shot in the first to get him. What I mean by that is scored probably 3 runs, and we only scored 1. He worked his way out, and then the left-hander Ben. I don't know if I could pronounce his name correctly, so I won't try. But I thought he was awesome, and came in and threw about 70 pitches or so, and had a couple of really quick innings, and just held us down. And it looked like we had a chance to build on that lead a little bit, and then bang, they punch in a run. We don't score in the next inning. They scored 3 more, and all of a sudden we're losing. And, then we didn't stop. I mean, honestly, we ran out of pitching. If we'd have won the game, I don't know who we would have thrown or how we'd have gone about it. We've been battling this all year, and we knew everything had to be just right for us to get through a regional. We felt like we had a better chance to win a super regional, obviously, than a regional because of our injuries and lack of pitching depth and experience. That it was going to take, we were either really going to have to hit, or our starters were going to have to give us a lot of innings. And, unfortunately the teams we played didn't give us that opportunity. But really proud of the team. Spent 12 hours here on the field sweating yesterday, delays. And, I know that I got home after midnight, and, it takes a while to get to sleep. And then I'm sure the players are the same way. And, I feel like they gave us everything they had, and we were in that game for about 5-6 innings. But proud of just the whole season, winning the Western Division, beating out LSU and A&M and some of these guys that have all these players this year. I'm just so proud of our players. And then, tying Florida for the overall SEC championship. And, we've only got 3 of those in my 21 years. Those trophies are hard to get, and super proud of the guys. So with what we have in that locker room that's not on the DL all year, I think that we did all we could do, honestly.
Bob, get us going.
Dave, you guys obviously beaten a lot of good teams this year, swept a lot of good ones, but TCU just seemed to have your number. When you look at those 3 games, none of them were particularly close. What do you think happened against them?
They're just good, I mean, I throw the one in Arlington out the door. I mean, they beat us 16-6. We beat Oklahoma State 18-3 the next day because they made us mad. It was early. You never know, but we saw the talent. Now the ones here, they whipped us yesterday because we didn't get off to a good start on the mound, and they just are swinging the bats extremely good today. I think Adcock gave us an inning fighting it behind in the count a lot, and I thought Hagen Smith pitched great today. Coming off of getting ready for a game, mentally pitching yesterday, throwing 36 pitches. And he just pitched lights out. I think if he'd probably tell you made one mistake, and that was on the 0-2 pitch to the hitter, the single up the middle. Other than that, he was awesome, and really talented guy, and we got to take care of him. And, he probably could have gone out another inning or 2, but we didn't feel like that would be very smart on our part. So what do I think? I just think they're really good at every position, and they have a lot of pitching depth. And they're playing really well right now, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. If they play like they did this weekend, they're going to be hard to stop by anybody in the country, maybe Wake Forest.
A lot of regionals on the road, got in Omaha from the road, lost some regionals here. Every year, it seems like 5, 6, 7 hosts don't win. I think everybody just assumes, oh, you got a regional, you're gonna
No.
advance. How hard is it whether you're at home or on the road? You know,
It's really hard. It's all about how are you playing? Are you healthy? I think about 21, we had first baseman almost broke his ankle in tournament. We got a center field that's got strep throat. And these guys are hitting like 2 and 3 in the order. It's just little things that happen. That was when we lost to the Super Regional in game 3, and we'd won everything that was put in front of us up until then, but you just don't know what you're going to run into and how the ball's going to bounce. And, where's everybody's mind at? Sometimes it's easier on the road because people aren't expecting you to win. Sometimes you're expected to win. You get a little tight. That's not what happened to us here. We got beat by a really, really good team. And maybe we were running out of gas.
Top of the first inning, you load the bases there with 3 walks and then only get the 1 run. How deflating was that? And did that maybe shorten up the leash on Adcock a little bit, not being able to drive in 2 or 3 runs there?
Well, I already mentioned that, Cam Brown gave us that inning to get him. We only scored 1. It wasn't deflating, but we had, because we had the next inning against him. We didn't know that he was going to come out and kind of turn it around, which he did. But it was just, it was a good inning. We saw a lot of pitches. We didn't get a hit, but we saw a lot of pitches. We made him work, and, then he recovered. So then you kind of go, wow, should have scored more runs. We already knew that. But we figured we were going to have to score 8 to 10 runs today to win. And but as far as leaving Adcock in, we just felt like, it wasn't ahead of enough hitters. He wasn't finishing them off, and Hagen was available, and we needed to make that move.
You mentioned the possibility of Hagen throwing yesterday, but were you surprised by how much he was able to give you and just how well it went after the way things went yesterday?
Yeah, we figured he'd give us 60, 70 pitches today, because once he said he felt good, and he did feel good, and he's going to tell us the truth. That'd be about where it would stop. If he hadn't thrown yesterday and he started today, we would have won 100. So it was about right.
Y'all got some life there, and I think it was the 5th inning when Morphin and Wagner went back to back. Just what did you see on those 2 swings, and kind of what was the mood in the dugout at that time?
Well, I think Morphin worked his count to a 3-1 count and just did an incredible job of getting to a hitter's count and got a pitch he could handle, and he hit it right where it was pitched, out over the plate, hit it dead center, and got every bit of it. And I think they gave us a 1-run lead, and then Wagner came up and actually hit a pretty good pitch that was away, but just hit it where it was pitched. And the ball was really flying to right field the last couple of days, and right when you hit it, you're thinking, I hope it gets out of here. And then halfway there, you're going, that's way out of here. We had a 2-run lead, but we also knew that we were running out of bullets, so to speak. And, we needed to keep scoring, and we did.
The disappointing end, but y'all were the number 3 overall seed. It's so many injuries during the year. Just how do you think this team should be remembered?
Well, I don't like to use the term overachievers or any of that, because I think they're good players. But this is a team, and I've said it many times, they show up and they think they're going to win. They showed up, played hard for us all the time. I really can't remember having to really talk to the team about what we're seeing. It's not a good enough effort. You're not playing hard. Never really saw that from this team. Just find a way to win. They would find a way to win, and they were fun to be around, honestly. And I'll talk to them about that in our meeting when we finish up in a day and a half or so. But I think what they're going to be remembered for is they won the SEC championship, and they won 43 games, and they had one guy on the all SEC team. It's very rare. You win the SEC championship, and you look at Florida, what they have, 5, a couple second teamers. I mean, it was something else. And so it was just a bunch of guys that played as a team, and they won a championship. And hope they get celebrated in 10 years, and they come back, and I bet they're all doing something pretty good.
Their second baseman Richardson tripled his home run total here. What was the book on him? What'd you see?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That was amazing. Hats off to him. he played at Baylor last year, and Coach Thompson's brother was just kind of come in, and I'm sure he tried to keep him, and he got away. He wasn't known for power because we looked into it, and good defender, good hitter, tough out. He was all of that. I mean, you think about a guy, he's sitting in that big lineup. There's a lot of pop in there. He's sitting in the 5 hole because he drives in runs. And just by hitting the ball, doubles, singles, run around third, less than 2, making contact. When he got here, and it was something else. You could say, I flipped a couple balls over the right field fence, balls carrying, but he hit that last ball off a 97-mile-an-hour fastball over 400 feet dead center. So there's some legit pop in there, and I hope somebody signs him professionally.
The nucleus of your roster for next season, and just maybe the state of the program where you feel like going in next.
Well, we're going to lose some guys. There'll be, guys, how it is every year now with the way everything's set up with portal and kids coming in, and you rebuild your roster every summer. It's not going to change just the way it is. You don't like it, better find a new job if you're going to coach at this level. That's the way I look at it. So, and there's some coaches that don't like it and they got out. It's hard to bring in a freshman and keep him happy if he's not playing, and you hope they come back. But I'm looking forward to getting this recruiting class in. We have the #1 ranked recruiting class in the country. We're going to get smoked in the draft, and we know that, but we're going to make sure that we have it covered. And the guys that get through, I hope those freshmen can help us next year. The guys that come back, they've got a lot of experience, and we got to get the other guys, the grad transfers, the portal guy. We got to get just the right ones. It's not about getting the superstars all over the country. It's about getting guys that are good players and good teammates.
Dave, the injury starting before the season with Jackson, continuing through the regional with Peyton Holt and lots of guys in between. I think he had 6 position players who missed games, some out for the season. I mean, when you look back at that, I mean, just how crazy was that, and the way you guys handled that, managed that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like I told the coaches, they did a great job this year dealing with all the issues we went through. I told the players the same thing. Great effort. What a good team. They liked each other. It all adds up to some wins. It might not be the big wins to get you to Omaha, but it was wins to get you through another conference series, and then another conference series where other teams maybe are falling back. And we just hung around the top, and we never had that really bad streak. Because a lot of teams they'll go 1-5 in 2 weekends, and we always found a way to go 3-3. Next week we go, we'd sweep somebody, and I don't know. It's just we did it somehow. And when I say it's all of us, man. It was the players, the coaches, the training staff did a great job. Our doctors. I mean, I've never talked to them so much in 20 years as I have this year. And phone calls, text, late night text, who's going to be available and who's not. And they all worked hard to try to help us get some guys on that field.
Something crazy had to happen today. It was like TCU. They just weren't going to let that happen. It seemed.
No, they had too much pitching. They had too much pitching. They don't walk you, and they don't give you any easy innings. They don't boot balls. I mean, we made an error today. I got a third base playing second. He never played second all year here until yesterday. Callie's not a second baseman. He's a corner guy. And we just trying to get some guys in the lineup that could swing the bat. McLaughlin played third base one time all year, maybe. He's first baseman. He's DH, but need to keep my 3 outfielders in. I mean, we were just fighting it, trying to figure out how we get offense in there. But they don't give you much. They just, they don't walk you, they don't make errors, and you got to hit. You got to hit a lot. I mean, we only made, I think, 2 or 3 errors the whole tournament. I think pitcher made 1 and maybe 2. Maybe we made 2 errors. I don't think we made an error in the SEC tournament. I don't know if we made an error against Vandy the last series. That's one reason we hang around. We just didn't mess up a whole lot, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to beat TCU.
Made a move today that worked out for you, but something you don't see every day. You intentionally walked the 9-hole to get to the leadoff. Have you done that very much? I mean,
No, and they're both good. The 9-hole to me, I mean, he's got 8 home runs now. He's got power. I love his bat speed. You can see the bat zipping through the zone. That's not a punch and Judy hitter, so to speak. If you guys remember that term from the old days, he's not just flipping it over the infield. That guy can drive the ball. And, but it was a left on right. And I think once he got behind a ball or two, he said, let's just put him on. Let's go left against left. And our leadoff man's a really good player. He's got a lot of personality. He's confident. And Hagen took care of him. And we have a lot of confidence in Hagen. And we just felt like maybe that was a better matchup at the time.
that's the one, Andrew.
Yeah, coach, just offensively, it probably wouldn't matter today, but just how frustrating is it that things never really clicked, whether it was injuries, inconsistencies, or just not having the right hits at the right time, just overall offensively.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, there was a few of our guys that just didn't have a good tournament, and maybe they're tired. Maybe, I don't know, some of them are first year guys and at this level, and, it just didn't happen. Again, you can also give credit to some really good pitching we faced. I mean, Santa Clara is one of the better teams we played this year. I mean, that is a very good team. So we played 4 games here against them, 2 against them, 2 against TCU. And, we faced some good arms, but it was frustrating because I feel like we're a better hitting team than that. But, it's just a combination of everything. And I think today, honestly, just a little tired from yesterday. Swings are a little slower. Just not quite there.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you, guys.